Okay, hey, y'all. Mama TC's back. That's Lady TC Knows here on TikTok, LADII, and Lady TC Sings Jazz, LADII, over there on Y2B for a more extensive video coverage that none of them will get, if you know what I'm saying. So, I'm getting back into 5. The reason I decided to go on to 5, and this should be the final cut, is because I ended off talking about John the Baptist. Now, remember, John the Baptist, Yahushua Mashiach told them he came in righteousness. And the Pharisees and them said, who are you to sit up here and tell us about the kingdom of heaven and talk about, our beliefs? Because you are just some scavenger that lives off locusts and you live in the hills and the forests and all that, and you're a wanderer and you're out here. Who are you that is authorized to baptize these people? Yahushua Mashiach said, listen, he came to you in righteousness and you turned him away knowing he had the power. You don't get to decide who's righteous and who is not, okay? So when I talk about that baptism, Yahushua Mashiach said it's the way, the truth, and the life. To be reborn again. That is going to, listen, that whole system that I talked about that Jordan Maxwell said in the last one, the Admiralty and Marine Law, that locks you into this way of thing. And then remember, listen, I said the birth certificate, that's a contract. When you talk about selling your soul, like Hollywood and all that stuff, they sign their soul by signing a paper in blood, they talk about, right? You don't know how they get that blood. Is it in the pen? Some people said it's in the pen. With the baby in the birth certificate, they take a drop out of the foot. And they take a footprint, which got the DNA attached to that ink. Okay, so how many of you know that you can never really sell your soul because it don't belong to nobody to be able to sell it except the Most High, right? But to understand this, in the spiritual realm, nobody can sell your soul. That belongs to the Most High. But here on this plane is physical life form being. And the physical, you can physically sign that form and then give yourself over to them. Then they have access to you in the physical. You understand that? That's what they mean by selling of the soul. Physically, you are locked into this existence because you made that agreement. You get it? Trickery, deception is real rampant in everything. But don't be discouraged by that, because the way, the truth, and the life is the only way, like Yahushua told you, to be delivered of all of that. So that's what I'm talking about with the baptism. That's what I'm talking about in seeking it, is strengthening your faith and serving the Most High is the way, the truth, and the life. Like I brought up Sinners, that movie. Listen, that movie is one of the biggest movies of the year that has a lot of symbolism and messages in there. Don't be afraid to watch that film if you believe in the Most High, because a lot of it talks about vampires and horror movie. No. There's a lot of symbolism and messages, and Ryan Coogler knew what he was doing, okay? There's a lot of messaging in there, and if you have discernment and wisdom and you have been part of this awakening movement and you're chosen, you're going to understand what that movie's saying. There's so much in there, and I've talked about it before. Okay, so in bringing up part 5, that's another thing. Satan deceives us. He's allowed to tempt you. But he has to reveal truth. It's called universal law. There's something called the Galactic Federation. Y'all keep hearing terms like that. It's even all the truths are in the movies. They put everything. See, he has to reveal the truth to you because it's universal law. A universal law says he must have the truth in there somewhere. And see, what does it say about Satan? He mixes his lies with the truth. The whole world is up in arms and all this essence fest, hatred and anger and immigrants hating on us, talking bad. Why won't you protest? Why is all that happening? Because somebody put it in their minds to believe a certain way about FBA. Think about it. Why else would they be hating on FBA so badly and think so horribly about us? Somebody had to tell them those things, don't you think? Now think about this too. Them farmers that is angry that we won't get out there and farm their land. Who gave them the idea that if they allowed Trump to get rid of them migrants and ship them back, they knew that was what when they voted. They knew that's what was going to happen. Trust me. But they assumed somebody told them that we would go in there and do it for free once they sent the migrants back. Who told them that? Where did they get that information from to make them even consider and think enough that they would vote for this man and watch their workers get taken off of the land and sent back? And then they expected us to go in there and do it for free. They really thought we was going back into that. Y'all just figuring that out, and you're starting to try to fathom where'd that come from. How could it? Because somebody told. Did you get it? Somebody told them that. Somebody promised them something. You get what I'm trying to say? My point in saying that is not to instill fear. But listen, the people ain't wrong in saying they might have some plans for us. I'm going to tell you like this, and this ain't allegedly. This is fact. Back in 2010, when I was first starting my awakening, and I was all over YouTube making videos and stuff, I was watching all these awakening videos, and somebody had a nasty comment in one of the videos that was very promising, talking about FBAs back then and our lineages and stuff. And somebody jumped on there, obviously of the opposite descent, talking about, hold on. Well, I don't know why y'all saying all this stuff, because y'all are going to go back into a slavery. It's a known thing that you're going to go back and they're going to put you back into slavery. They said that back way in 2010. And I never could fathom. I was thinking to myself, are they really going to try that? Why did this person say that? And I kept seeing, it wasn't the first time I seen it in video comments over there on Y2B. A few times, not the same person, different people being smart behinds in comments were saying, y'all going back into slavery. They got a slavery plan for y'all, so who cares what you say? Listen. That must be some kind of common knowledge that maybe they have amongst themselves. That somebody told them they're going to do this, or they're going to attempt it. Who knows? But scripture says what it says. In the end times, things will get crazy, this and this and that. But don't you hold tight to what it says. It says the oppressor will soon become the oppressed. It's going to flip. And they're going to try whatever they can to stop it. But it's not going to work. Because the Most High has us in his favor, in his sight. So you must hold truth to your faith. You must hold tight to your faith and not let all this stuff discourage you. I'm telling you. Don't. I don't care what they say. Keep an eye on it. We need to keep an eye on it and see what's going on. And we need to, like I said, delineate. And yes, it's good to delineate because we need to gather ourselves together for our own selves. There's nothing wrong with doing that. They other ones do it all the time. It doesn't mean racism. So, yeah. That's the soul thing. Yeah, that Jordan Maxwell revealed all of that, so you could look into him to find out more of that. But that symbolism thing, it's on money, it's on the TV movies, it's even in kids' cartoons. Y'all have come to find that stuff out. The Simpsons, even what was the other one I just told somebody earlier today? That Bug's Life, where they said if one of them rises up, we're gonna have a big problem. Listen, they telling you. They telling you in all these movies, and the good one, you want to hear what the devil got to say? Watch Devil's Advocate with Al Pacino. And remember in Scarface, he said, he was the devil speaking right through him. What did he say? Me, I don't have no problem. When he was in the restaurant talking about all them rich folks in there, I don't have that problem lying. Me, I always tell the truth, even when I lie. Ain't that just like the devil? He always tells you the truth, even when he lies. Because he allowed to deceive you and tempt you. But the truth is mixed in there. He operates in truths mixed with lies. So you've got to keep a mind on that with your discernment, okay? So regarding this FBA stuff and F, since I understand emotions are high and people are massively upset. Plus, we're massively upset of all the negative stuff and the Mexicans and all them using the N-words and all this stuff. But listen, some of that, our own people have allowed that to get in because that freaking rap industry. We know who runs the music industry. When that took over back in the 80s, 90s, the 90s mainly, and they switched it to gangster rap. They didn't want no more of that conscious rap coming in because it was waking people up. You understand? So when they got rid of that and they pushed in the gangster rap, that's what brought all this mess in. And then we started calling our women names. We started calling each other those old names, the derogatory stuff and everything. That's where it all began. And reversing it now is going to be difficult because people are using that word and they enjoy saying it. If you notice the ones that like saying it, they like saying it excessively. In a sentence, they might use it more than once. They ain't supposed to be saying that. And they know darn well it's a forbidden thing, but they're getting enjoyment. Don't be the fool. They know exactly what they're doing. And so don't you rise up and attack. The Most High going to take care of all of it. I can't tell you what to do. Because I know it's burning people up inside and they're getting angry about it. Listen, I see what they're doing. It's foul. It's so foul. They wouldn't like us calling them names. But don't fall into the hate. I'm telling you, don't fall into the hate. Let's delineate and focus on ourselves. And we're going to be just fine. Trust in the Most High. Get up your faith. Focus on rebuilding up your fruits of the Spirit within yourself and the 5 spiritual keys Baba Vanga spoke of. And I love you. And I'll see you in the